Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything in the land of solar this week?
Well, we took a week off for Thanksgiving, so thank you for everyone for your patience that we are back and everything's fine. No, we're still around. We just took a week off. It was a national holiday, and even the day after was national holiday. So, it's always exciting. I mean, there was lots of rain, and then now there's tons of sun, and it's back to sunny and warm. And it's great time for solar. Lots of people are excited and wanting to get solar now. But, it takes us more than 30 days, unfortunately, to install the solar. So if we're asking for it today, it's probably in January that we'll be able to install. And anyway, so it's and then lots of commercial projects, because lots of people are very concerned that the Inflation Reduction Act is going to get repealed, and that would be the end of the 30% or actually even 40% tax credit for commercial clients. And so who do you think would be really, really excited if the Inflation Reduction Act was repealed?
PG&E?
PG&E!
Hey, I got it in one.
Yep, one chance. And the reason is that there's still the mandate for California to get to 100% renewable by 2045 or something close to that. And so if there's no more carrot, no more incentives to motivate people to go solar, then the stick it will be. And
oh boy.
Just right before Thanksgiving, there was a article that went out about how PG&E proposes its fifth rate hike in 2024, going into effect in 2025, and so that's pretty crazy. But maybe they're already anticipating that it's going to go up, and so they're getting their rate hikes in now. But I mean, that just means that they will have the opportunity to raise, especially the summer rates, by 30% more. So 60 cents per kilowatt hour, or 64 cents, going to 90 cents a kilowatt hour.
Wow!
Not out of the question. And so,
wow.
And a lot of companies would be in big trouble if the 30% tax credit went away. And saw another large solar company. It's kind of stabilized, where not a lot of companies are going out of business, but one good-sized one in Texas went out this year, or just this month, and so that's no fun. But in California, all the companies that are in business now look like they've stabilized and are continuing to be in business, and that's really great. And so we could see, we will see more increases in electricity costs for next year. And then as people, as we've already talked about with electric cars, and then lots and lots of incentives for people to install heat pumps. And the efficiency on heat pumps is getting much, much better. So it is a really good way if air conditioner furnace is planning to drop out because it's 15, 20 years old. A lot of people are looking at heat pumps to replace those. But the heat pumps run on electricity, while the furnaces generally ran on natural gas. And so California is going to be phasing out the natural gas, as we've talked about many, many times.
Yep.
But it was interesting because in this article, they wanted to talk about, well, where is all this money going? And that's
what I was going to ask. What's the justification for the fifth rate hike?
Well, general inflation is a big one. That minimum wage in California is now $18 an hour, and that's kind of what PG&E line workers used to be paid a long time ago, but it wasn't
What?
too long ago that $18 an hour was kind of their starting. But then they would get lots of overtime, and that certainly has gone up. And so now, if you went to hire someone, working at PG&E is not the easiest. People are not so excited to hear from you when you say you work at PG&E. And so they have a huge amount of turnover. And so to attract employees, they really make it a sweet pie to join the company, and their benefits are pretty strong. And they during COVID, they had a huge amount of people that were working from home, and now they've curtailed it, but still, generally, if you call a customer service person, you can hear their dog or their baby in the background, and it's but you're still waiting on hold for 40 minutes to an hour, and then but once they get to you, it's they're probably working from home. So that was one big one, and then they're really investing in infrastructure. And so what that means is they have a lot of new developments. They're trimming back trees, and they're replacing transformers, and they're doing underground construction for the gas lines, and replacing, because those are 40, 50, 60 years, and they had a life of 30 years. And so PG&E is kind of waiting for things to fail to replace them, and now they're getting a little bit more proactive in replacing things to make sure that these are not going to blow up underground,
Right.
and things like that. So that's nice, but it is, what is going on, because their stock prices keeps going up, so that's good. But the CPUC keeps approving the increases because PG&E keeps making it, more. They make a really good case of why they need to increase prices. But it is interesting that of the four rate increases that were passed, the state regulator, the CPUC, approved them unanimously. So there's not even one person that's going to say, nope, I just can't take it anymore. People are not going to take it anymore, but they do. And so and I did talk with a gas station owner yesterday who wants to, build a convenience store along with his, to go along with his gas station. Needs to upgrade the service panel from 200 amps to 400 amps, which is a pretty good size increase. But what would you guess the cost is just from the PG&E side to do that increase, so he can open a new, just a convenience store, not another.
I'm going to go crazy and say $80,000.
Not quite crazy enough. It's $100,000 for him to do that. And gas stations are a little more challenging, but there's underground and engineering and permits, and but the actual service panel itself is $3,000 or $4,000. But all the things that go along with it, all the safety first things and everything are very expensive. And so he was planning.
Wow.
It was kind of funny because he said, well, it'd be way cheaper for me to go solar and then have batteries and not have to upgrade. And I said, well, it would work in the spring, summer, and fall, but if you need power in the winter, not going to work out so well, because we just don't have the sun hours. So he has to rethink his plan now, but very interesting, because it is, we think about the rates that we're paying for electricity, but if you needed to upgrade your service because you're adding more demand to your home, which a lot of people are with electric cars and heat pumps, and more and more and more demand on their electricity. The residential side is expensive for sure, but also the commercial side is outrageously expensive. So he's already invested a ton into this convenience store part. Wasn't aware that he was going to have to add another $100,000 onto the construction costs for the electrical upgrade. But I imagine that's where he's going to land, and then we can put in solar to obviously offset the ongoing electricity costs that he'll incur. But ouch, that's a pretty big pretty big expense. So next time when you see a movie that has a convenience store blowing up at the, you can say,
oh my gosh,
yeah, there was $500,000 right at the door.
That was $100,000 service panel.
Yep, just the electrical service, $100,000. Ouch.
But it does still make sense to go solar, even if you're that gas station, because if you're planning on being in business for 25 years more, you're definitely going to make that back. That's what's it's so crazy.
It's hard, if California is phasing out fossil fuels and, want everyone to drive electric, I asked him, what is your plan for electric vehicles?
Wait a second,
are you going to have EV charging? And he got the blinky eyes of what? So, it's, I'm sure in our lifetime we'll still have, internal combustion engine cars.
Of course. Gas stations are going to be around for 100 more years.
100 years more. You think? I don't think 100. I think, at least in California, if they are phased out, every new car, I'd say in 30 years, that's the lifespan.
Wow.
Yeah. Or, you'll have a few of them and you'll just won't have as many. And probably in 60 years, I think we'll be fully out of the gas station business. But everyone will be charging up electric vehicles somewhere. And
convenience store business instead.
You can get your Starbucks. I imagine it's going to be Starbucks EV charge stations. Don't take my idea. Trademark 20.
Starbucks just some enterprising young executive at Starbucks just went into his boss's office.
I got a great idea.
I got a great idea.
Yep.
Don't fire me.
Yep. So it's more increases coming, probably in response of the Inflation Reduction Act, or potentially. PG&E would be very, very happy if that went away. So, but what it means is solar is still going to be here, still going to be around, and still cruising through, because I just can't imagine the size of electricity bills for people that either don't have enough solar and need more solar, or just have a lot more demand. And so it's going to be very interesting, as it always is. So, Yep. And then next couple of weeks, we'll talk about the predictions for 2025 in the solar business and see how things roll out. But very exciting, as always.
Maybe when Elon Musk and Vivek are done with our federal government, they can cast their eyes onto our state and see how they can, help PG&E be more efficient.
Well, we'll see. I know Elon's no fan of PG&E, so
right, or California.
Who knows? Woo. He might just buy it. Wouldn't that be?
Oh wow!
If they too much resistance, he just buys them. Wow. Wouldn't that be neat?
It's a Borg.
Or threaten
a Borg.
Yeah, exactly.
Borg. We will assimilate you.
Definitely.
All right. We're going to wrap it up there, Jamie. Is that okay?
Timely reference, Adam, by the way.
Always time for Star Trek.
Ooh.
All right. We will wrap it up there. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your week to learn a little bit more about solar. Jamie's been doing this podcast for, going on at least 7-8 years now, and there's always something happening. Always. Every week, something happens in the land of solar. So thanks for our long-term listeners for sticking with us. If you have a question for Jamie for an upcoming episode, go to our Facebook page, Straight Talk Solarcast, send us a message through there. And if you want to go to a library of those past episodes, you can go to solarharmonics.com and click on the podcast link at the top of the page. You'll be taken to that library. If you have a friend considering going solar, this would be an excellent podcast to refer to them because it will save them thousands upon thousands of dollars over the life of their system. And we always ask, what better friend is that? I don't know. Until next time, everyone. See you.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.